Welcome to this segment of our podcast. Our guest of me, Eric Kisch, and my co-host, Jim Mehrling, is Elena Ruehr, and her composition is entitled Equality, Justice, Freedom, or Lack Thereof.
You know, I like to be inspired by ideas that come outside of musical ideas. I said, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to write a piece called Equality, Justice, and Freedom. And then I thought, I don't know how to do that. That's crazy. That's a crazy idea. But I thought, well, what does it, because music is about emotions, you know, what does it feel like to not feel, to feel inequality, right? What does it feel like to seek justice? What does it feel like to honor freedom? And, you know, what does it feel like to have those sorts of feelings about things? The thing that was fun about this piece for me is, first of all, I knew I had a great bass player. And I thought, I'm going to write a little bass concerto, because that's the instrument that's usually playing the supporting role. I want to flip that on its head and make the bass the most important instrument. And so it could be, it's for piano, string quartet, and bass, but it could be for piano, string orchestra, and bass, and be an actual concerto.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you put the word and translated that into a musical idea?
Well, there's three movements. They're all played without pause, right?
Yeah.
But the first one is called Equality, Inequality. The way that I work is that I start with an emotion, right? And I go and I sit at the piano and I say, okay, I want to create a sense of what it feels like to be put in a position where things are not correct, right? And you're in a situation where things are unequal, you know it's not right, and you feel really upset about it. What does that sound like? Well, it sounds like minor seconds smashing against each other a little bit.
Dissonance.
And, dissonance. It sounds like dissonance. And it has also rhythmically a little bit of a drive, because you never feel completely at peace when you're up against something difficult. Then you've got a little tune in the bass saying, you know, I don't really like this, but here I am.
It's evocative of feelings without being grating musically.
Yes, right. I want it to sound good at all times. I don't want it to be like so awful that you can't stand to listen to it. I just want it to
That's
have
always
that
good for a
feel.
composer.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I think about people, how they react. I don't want them to be sitting there going, oh, I really don't want to be sitting in this chair right now.
So moving from the first movement, where do we go in the second?
Seeking justice.
Seeking Justice.
Seeking justice, which is, you know, it's a typical sort of three movement form. The first one is fast and gnarly. The second one is a little bit more pensive and arioso. It's a little bit more of a melody. And then the third movement is a little bit brighter. So this one is seeking justice. And for me, seeking justice means walking the road of having to say, okay, you're not angry anymore. You're just trying to fix something that's not right, right? And that feeling of going, okay, I'm going to be measured about this, and, you know, and try to fix it. And there's this sort of pace-like movement towards justice that you have to just do. It's like work, but it's also work that's filled with like longing and hope, right? You're longing and you're hoping for this thing, but you have to kind of do it one step at a time.
And then the hope, or the more optimistic third
Freedom,
movement.
valuing freedom. It's not
Okay.
hope, it's valuing freedom. And in this movement, we get the bass keeps interrupting all the time, but there's this sort of brightness that is almost as if you're flying, that sort of sense of freedom, right? There's this freedom that is happening. And the bass keeps interrupting with this little melody that is a kind of, to be honest, I thought long and hard about whether I would do this, but it's a slightly altered quote of Amazing Grace. Bass is constantly trying to play Amazing Grace, and it keeps getting thwarted throughout the whole piece, okay? But at the very end, it finally plays Amazing Grace, but it's got, if you know Amazing Grace, it's a pentatonic scale. It's got a minor sixth instead of a major sixth in it, so that it sounds a little dark. I wanted to quote it, but I wanted to make it a little dark because I wanted to say, well, you know, this isn't quite right.